Okay, I don't get this NFT stuff at all, really. Now, I'm kind of not an expert at all by far in crypto markets or NFTs or the stock market in general. I'm just a very kind of passive layman. I've done a little bit of on looking into what the stock market is and what crypto is and understanding that kind of area. And I on my YouTube feed, there's stuff about investments in general and money and new sort of like booming stocks and new trends, and one of those is NFTs, and I didn't kind of understand it at the time, and I still don't understand it now. It doesn't make any sense to me, and I think the market is maybe catching up with this because I've heard stories and I've watched a few videos on YouTube of just people losing tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or maybe even millions on the NFT thing. So, at a very high level, for those of you who don't know, and I hope I'm kind of explaining this what okay, is basically NFTs are non fungible tokens that allow you to prove ownership of digital content. I think I might have actually pulled up a a definition somewhere on here. Like I don't know because I had to look up what the hell it is, but it never made any sense to me when I first saw it. Now this was like a big thing about 2 3 years ago, I think, off the top of my head, and everyone was going wild about NFTs, especially this like ridiculous Bored Ape crap. Where is it now? Like this thing here was everywhere. This bloody picture and variations of the Bored Ape. So all it seemed to me like was okay, we've got the blockchain, a way to prove ownership of some kind of digital asset, and that proves that I am the one that owns this particular image, or this one here, this JPEG. Okay, that's fine. Then that means, okay, can anybody else have that JPEG? No, it doesn't mean that at all. It means that I can still right click and save this JPEG, and it's on my mobile, it's on my computer. But the person who owns the original, they've got proof of this through their NFT token or however the heck it works. So I get that ownership part of it. That makes sense. And it's kind of like I own my house. I have a contract, or not a contract, but I have the deeds to the house, and everything's under my name and it's proof and makes total sense, okay? But for something that's like a digital asset like this, makes no goddamn sense at all to me. And it didn't back then. It just felt like this was the latest trend. People are going to jump on board and they're going to lose money. And it didn't make like this thing here. Like this was an NFT. Like anything can be an NFT. A black a square, like 12 by 12 pixels black square can be an NFT. And then people go crazy. Does it offer any intrinsic value? No. Can you use it to spend on or do something with it? No. You can only sell it to make actual real dollars, actual cash that you can then use and go to the grocery store or pay for your rent or help your family and put food on the table basically. So it made no sense to me at all at the time. I didn't understand the value of it really. It just felt like, hey, this is just a trend because blockchain is hype at the moment and everyone's going to jump on it. The price is going to soar up. Other people are going to see that price and they're going to be like, oh, this is a massive, cool thing. It's going to change the world. No, it didn't change the world. Just like VR didn't change the world in 2015 and nobody's running around with VR headsets on in the street. It's not Ready Player One. It might eventually be that way on the VR side of thing. I'm going off track, but hey, this just makes no sense to me. When I see like an investment vehicle or some way to make money, it for me personally, it has to make sense. So if I buy stocks, shares in a company that makes water filters, just off the top of my head, just picking out anything, it makes sense. There's real world value to that. It filters water to make it clean so people can drink it and they're having clean, drinkable water. Cool. Makes sense. This didn't make any sense to me at all. And that's where I had problems with it. And it felt like just a massive bubble. And that's all it was. That's all it ever was. Again, more variations of Bored Ape and everyone jumping on the gold train and trying to sell out early and blah, 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 blah. So I saw like a video a few weeks back, and I can't remember the exact details now. It's been a while. I can't remember what happened 2 days ago. Never mind a few weeks ago. But this one was like NFTs like fall off a cliff. They're reportedly worthless. Yeah, they were like worthless back then. It's just that people were paying money for something that was like a speculation, and it's like that big famous one. Oh, it was mentioned in the a tuliptopia, whatever it was referred to as, when people in, I think it was Holland, the Netherlands, were buying tulips for like the value of like $10,000 in today's price, or 20,000, whatever it may be. The point is, it went ridiculously high for a tulip bulb, just because that's what people were speculating in. Because the next person thought, oh, I can buy it for 10,000, I can sell it for 20,000 tomorrow or in a month or whatever it may be. And eventually, somebody didn't pay that price, or a few people didn't pay that high price. People got scared, and then they started selling, and therefore the price of the tulip bulb went down. So yeah, it's just the like it says here, people got caught up in the gold rush. I mentioned down here that Justin Bieber spent 1.3 million on an NFT. I think there was NBA players doing it at the time, and there was a bunch of people like crypto influencers, like on YouTube or TikTok. I feel horrible when I say that word, TikTok, but yeah, so they were promoting it and they were pumping it, and then they probably the ones that got out there and made some money for actual real cash. I say real cash because cash is only like, it's fiat currency. There's no intrinsic value to it. It's just what you trust you can buy with. So when you have like $1 in your pocket or £1, you believe you can go out and buy a bottle of water, and someone will give you that actual thing with intrinsic value. But you can't do that with NFTs. You had to change it for something that you could do something with, i.e. dollars and pounds. So yeah, it was just a massive fall. It felt like an absolute, like, just ridiculous, how can I put it? A ridiculous like gold train at the time. People jumped on it, and it felt the same as like when everyone was talking about the metaverse 2 years ago, and I didn't see the value in that either. Not saying I'm like a bloody prophet or anything, and I know what's going to happen in the markets. No, it's just as like a layman, a total like just regular dude. Like I didn't see the value in this, and it just felt like, oh, yeah, let's make some quick money. People will jump on it. It's like this is just an entire like website devoted to like NFTs, and it's just got loads of crap and like pay. I mean, I don't know how much 0.6 ether is at the moment, or you can buy this picture or this pill. Like, what value does that have? It's absolutely nothing, nothing at all. Now, I suppose you could say like, well, the same thing is true of the Mona Lisa. I suppose, yeah. I mean, I'm trailing off a bit here. I'm going to shut up in a second. But the Mona Lisa, like, what intrinsic value does the Mona Lisa have? It doesn't have any intrinsic value in terms of you can't, eat it. Well, you could, but you can't really use it in real life to do anything real. Like, you can't keep warm, you can't cook it, it's not food, etc., etc. But it's one of a kind. I suppose that's the big difference is with NFTs, I can just right-click this thing and I've got it. Do you know what I mean? And that's the end of it. I suppose with the Mona Lisa, it's more of it's more, well, to me there's a lot more skill involved in creating the Mona Lisa than just like a bunch of like ridiculous like things like this up here, like this pill or whatever. It's less saturated as well. The Mona Lisa was I suppose not like the millionth Mona Lisa to be put out there. That was just a slight variation at the time, and I suppose because it's been around for a long time now, and it's kind of ingrained in history. So that's another reason. But this just absolutely exploded. Everyone put some money in, and I didn't really get it, and I still don't get it. And I think a lot of people have gotten burnt from it. So anyway, that's my take on it, whether I'm right or wrong, but let me know what you guys think. See ya.